I want to mention this. The Six Nations gets back underway next week, the world of rugby, of course. But what's more important, being effective on the pitch or being effective online? In the build-up to their 33-19 win over New Zealand, this was back in November, 4 England players, Tommy Freeman, Finn Smith, Freddie Stewart and Henry Pollock, produced a video on TikTok. You can see it now if you're watching on YouTube. And it was a video of them dancing. It was viewed over 22 million times. Pollock was subsequently branded a TikTok dancer who plays a bit in the weekend by the South African back row forward Charlotte Burger. But Borthwick saw it as a bit of a positive. So they're the boys going through their dancing moves on TikTok. It's interesting, Simon. Steve Borthwick says he will not discourage his players from TikTok dancing during the Six Nations tournament, claiming that rugby should celebrate when players engage with fans online. So do you want to see a bit more of that?
Not particularly. I don't know what you're engaging with. 4 guys, they're barbershop quartet. I don't know what I'm supposed to react to that. It's got nothing to do with age generation. It's got nothing to do with the fact, what am I engaging with? No,
I'm watching a younger fan to engage with younger fans.
To do what? So what? Do we all got to replicate that dance? So, if I saw a bunch of Morris dancers, shall I replicate that too? Listen, each to their own. Everyone to themselves. If that engages fans and 22 million people want to download that, then fantastic. Nothing wrong with it. No harm in it, as long as it doesn't detract from their central performance. As long as they aren't the subject of ridicule when it comes on top, when they're playing in moments of severe intensity, and they can back up their virility of their dancing on the rugby field.
Well, maybe it shows one thing, that Jesse Lingard was ahead of his time after all, because we remember this, and he used to engage in the odd TikTok...
Has it worked out for Jesse Lingard?
He engaged in the odd TikTok dance. There he is in a dressing room somewhere. And these things get millions of views.
Yeah, they do.
Apparently it helps that sportsman engage with his TikTok following.
Where did it engage Jesse Lingard? To the dole queue? I mean, what's he done with his career? He's gone from being in a Man United dressing room to being in the West Ham dressing room to being an absolute flop at Nottingham Forest and wasting of everybody's money to potentially the end of his career. So that wonderful little bit of dancing is fun. It's all good humour and there's nothing wrong with it. But at the time, we were talking about a culture at Man United that didn't seem to have any understanding of its responsibility and was more about what it looked like than what it could do. And that, to me, embodied that. There's nothing wrong with social media phenomenons. There's nothing wrong with all the things that we saw during COVID, that Joe Wicks, telling people how to do bleeding exercises that blind Pew could tell them how to do, and all of a sudden it was a cultural phenomenon. But the fact of the matter is that it's each to their own.
Yeah.
But when you talk about the seriousness of professional sports people, does that determine that they are... Because at the end of it, the centre of it all, besides the relatability, is your excellence as a professional sports person.
So I take
you can bust a few moves on TikTok, but that's about it, is
when
it?
you and I are in the US in the summer for the World Cup, you don't want to go through a dance move or two with me for our TikTok
your
following.
hip will crack.
My hip would crack, and that is for sure. Anyway, sorry about that. We don't appear to be having the TikTok dancing, but it worked for the rugby boys. 22 million views.
Bedtime.
But we heard from Simon, who gave us his view moments ago on the rugby players doing their TikTok dance, which claimed 30 or 22 million views, wasn't it? But you quite simply weren't having it. It's not for you. Says you about TikTok
this
dancing.
Look at me culture gets on my tits.
Right, thank you. There's Alec in Worksop. Yesterday, Simon gave the big speech about how we should approach life positively and agreed with Emmanuel Petit about the media getting people down in the dumps. Today, he's taken a miserable, negative view to a few rugby players dancing along with Jesse Lingard.
No, I haven't.
Less than 30 minutes after slagging a rugby player off for feeling sorry for himself for not having another avenue to go down after his career had finished.
Oh, shut up, Alex.
Alex in Worksop. So
where?
What would you...
In Worksop?
Yes.
I went there once. It was closed.
All right.
Look, I don't like this attitude towards this look at me culture. Social media has generated a generation of kids that think it's important to be looked at rather than to have substance about what you're doing. Each to their own. Got no problem with these rugby players doing a dance, but this look at me mentality. Look at me standing out in front of someone's nice car. Look at me having a look at the wonderful things in the world that I'm entitled to get rather than actually apply myself. Yep. Look at me being an influencer, knowing the square root of bugger all about anything, and people are following me. And that kind of thing is what I have my miserable attitude towards. As I said earlier on, this look at me culture gets on my nerves.
You're not having influencers.
But it is, look at me doing this. Look at me living my best life.
Yeah.
Look at me dancing.
Yes.
I mean, when did it become about look at me?
Right.
Rather than these are the things I'm doing in my life. This is the substance I have.
Well, I can't tell you how much pleasure it will give me not looking at you